Hello, everyone. Welcome to another bonus episode of Incoming. I got to admit, this is a really special one. So, my friend Mr. King is the creator of a singular and fascinating podcast called Sleep Baseball. In this incredible combination of art piece and public service, he offers full broadcasts of imaginary minor league baseball games. There's a whole Northwoods baseball league and teams and stadiums and players, and each game unspools in a translucent haze of nostalgia and charm. There's a warm blanket of crowd noise. You can hear the vendors calling out. There's that satisfying plunk when the ball hits the bat. Innings are punctuated by drowsy local ads. And all of that is described in calm and laconic detail by the voice of WSLP, the inimitable Wally McCarthy. Now, you may be asking, what's all this for? Well, some people call it ASMR, but it's primarily the ideal background for falling asleep, for spacing out, for contemplating the mysteries of the universe. The volume never spikes. There's no yelling or histrionics. It is simply the perfect soundtrack for drifting off into the recesses of your own mind. The show has thousands of devotees, and I am decidedly one of them. Those nights where my brain won't stop working and I'm trying to fall asleep? Well, the South Haven Ravens are playing the Toma Tigers, and the broadcast from Kitamori Park is just what I'm looking for. I'm such a fan, in fact, that I reached out to see if Wally McCarthy and the WSLP team would be willing to make an episode of Incoming, combining the elements of what makes our two programs unique. And to my delight, they agreed. And so, it is with great pride that I now direct this broadcast to the signal from WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network, where we join today's game between the Baraboo Bombers and the Lake City Loons at Evermore Park in progress.
He'll run out of room as that one knuckles out of play and into the stands. And the 0-1 to Corrbette. Curveball in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Sunderland takes a small lead at first. And the pitch. Chopped fouled on the third base line. 1-2. McKeever will take a moment to go to the rosin bag. A little humid out here tonight at Evermore Park. Corrbette back in the box, and the pitch. Fastball high and inside, and it's 2-2. Corrbette batting .278 on the season with 11 home runs and 53 runs batted in. And the 2-2. Ground ball to short, fielded by Howell, who flips to second for one, over to first in time to get Corrbette. And that's a 6-4-3 double play. Two outs now, nobody aboard for Billy DeJesus. Top of the fourth, Bombers leading 2-0. And I've just been handed a message from producer Phil. The emergency alert system is announcing that a ballistic missile is inbound and warns everyone to take shelter immediately in a basement or other low ground. And here's the 1-0 to DeJesus. fastball misses just a bit outside. 2-0. Anyway, that message goes on to say, this is not a drill. Some fans in the crowd seem to be checking their phones and showing some consternation. And here's the pitch. Lifted to left field, Silver drifting back to the warning track, and he makes the catch to end the inning. And after 3.5, it remains Bombers 2, Loons nothing. We'll be back in a moment with more baseball after these words on WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hello, this is Tim at Baraboo Necessities. Where can you go in Baraboo to find everything you need? That's Baraboo Necessities on Berkeley Boulevard. The first 10 customers that come to our grand reopening get a Baraboo Bombers baseball cap. Baraboo Necessities, we've got what you need.
Bottom of the 4th inning here at Evermore Park in Baraboo. Bomber fans have started to stream for the exits, perhaps aware that Evermore Park, while sturdy, offers them little protection in the event of a nuclear strike. It's hard to imagine that an adversary would choose the greater Wisconsin Dells area as a military target, but here we are. And Bugs Yamaguchi steps in against Butch Flores. Yamaguchi reached on an error his first time up. Flores sets, and here's the pitch. Slider cut on and missed. 0-1. And many of the remaining fans are now running for the exits. It seems the players are unsure of what to do next. Flores looking into the dugout, but the game marches on. And the 0-1. Hard grounder right side, just past a diving Primero. And Yamaguchi is aboard with a leadoff single. Bottom of the 4th, Bombers up 2-0. And here's Buddy Lamont with a runner on and nobody out. And a blinding white light has flashed over Evermore Park. And now a plume of orange fire rising into the sky. Lamont standing outside the box, waiting on a decision from crew chief B.R. Montebianco. Flores is still on the rubber, facing out to right center field. And a large mushroom cloud is forming and blocking out a fair amount of the sky. Fans now sprinting for the exits, desperately trying to escape Evermore Park. Loons players are now running toward their dugout. Gloveless Joe Topanga trailing a bit behind. His lack of speed really not helping at this moment. The umpires are now running into the dugout. Buddy Lamont remains near home plate, unmoving, watching the action. But it appears there will at least be a delay this evening. The enormous mushroom cloud now towering over all of Baraboo. Its dark and awesome power evoking the might of primitive gods. Let's take a moment for a short break while this situation gets sorted out here on WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
Thank you so much to Wally McCarthy and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network for giving me and all of you that special treat. This episode was produced by Mr. King, Philip T. Hunter, and Corrbette Pasko. Northwoods Baseball Sleep Radio, fake baseball for sleeping. The show's website is sleepbaseball.com. They have incredible merchandise there. When you get into it, you get really into it. And you can find episodes of Sleep Baseball wherever you find our show. I am thrilled to tell you that we're making spectacular progress on season 2 with some stories and actors that are going to absolutely blow your mind. That was not supposed to be a pun, like I'm the host of Creep Show. You remember Creep Show? Damn, I love that movie. Sequel, not as much. Anyway, we're going to nuke your dreams. In the meantime, I know I always say this, but I desperately want to talk to you. You have a question about the show? You want to be a part of the show? You want me to call you at a random time and ask what you would do if the bomb was coming right now? Just send me an email and let's chop it up. David@incomingpodcast.com. Thank you so very much for commenting on the episodes and sharing them with your friends and generally making us feel like the world isn't quite as isolating and demoralizing as our many enemies would have us believe. We are all in this together. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.